All right. This is a quick walkthrough of the best VS Code shortcuts, the ones I use every day. So this is a cheat sheet I put in a template project I made. I'll link it. I'll link the cheat sheet. It'll be free. So to get started, probably over half of these came from Fireship's course, so I'd say check it out. Quite helpful. And by default, all these use Control and Alt, so for Windows or Linux. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to use Command and Option, but that's okay. And to get started, we'll just Command-Shift-V to render this markdown file. And that was a little fancy window switch we'll learn how to do, but going through the basics, I won't go through those, you probably already know those, but start out with in the IDE section, opening and closing files. So Command P to open the control palette. You can do fun stuff in there, so like running commands like emit commands or reloading the window, very helpful. You could also go to a certain line with colon or check out the code symbols, so like you can skip to variables or functions, that kind of thing. So first we'll open a file. Oh, I have a hero, right? Command P, fuzzy search, open a file, and Command W to close it. Very easy. Now, toggling the sidebar, Command B, very nice since you don't need that open very often, and you can just press this little minimize to minimize every folder. And let's open the hero again, get a tab. So you can also move between tabs and windows and that kind of thing with Command Option left or right to just go between tabs and groups like that. You can also go Command 1, Command 2 to switch between the window groups. So Command 2, Command 1, you don't have to go through hero, you don't have to minimize your current tab. Very helpful. And you can also move a tab over to another group with the Command Control arrow key. So for instance, bam, bam, very nice. And IntelliSense, quite helpful. Pretty self-explanatory. Go ham on that. As for terminals, it's the Control backtick and Control Shift backtick if you want a new one. So Control backtick, Control Shift backtick if you want a new one. Quite helpful. As for text editing, the ones I use the most, probably Command to go to start and beginning of a line. Very helpful, not on Windows. Sucks to suck. But Option or Control on Windows to go to the start and beginning of a word is quite helpful. And Control Enter, you can go to a new line even from the middle of your current one. Very nice. Command left or right. Yep. Okay, and then you can highlight something if you want to, for instance, put quotes around something. Highlight it, quote, automatically wraps it. Very helpful. Now these three are probably my favorite of all of them. Control click F2 and F12. We'll go to a file so we can test this out. Yeah, so control click, you can just click it, goes to its definition, no matter what file it's in. It's very helpful. F2, you can rename something between all the files it's in. It's very nice if you have a variable that's in like 10 files and you just need to rename it. Very helpful. F12 is good because you can see all the references of something, so that's also very nice. If you just have one reference, then it'll probably just go straight to it. And more with text editing. I'm not sure these three should be in text editing, but I'll move those. These three, so Control L highlights the current line and the next line if you keep pressing it. Alt and Alt Shift. So Alt, you can just move stuff around like that. Alt Shift, you can duplicate the line up or down. It's quite nice. We'll just delete those. Now multi-cursor editing kind of makes you look like a wizard. It's quite helpful. You can, if you need to do stuff on multiple lines, you can alt click and multiple cursors. You can do stuff all at once. That's quite nice in Tailwind, for instance. Tailwind has their own official docs on multi-line editing because you often have repetitive styles. You can also Control Alt arrow keys to just spawn new ones, new cursors up and down. Command D. Yeah, fairly self-explanatory, but just spawns a new cursor on the next symbol. So Control in this case. Command Shift L puts a cursor on every version of the symbol. I don't use that one very much. I use F2 to rename things, but can be helpful. Emmet commands are very nice. I wonder if it'll work in a markdown file, but for instance, or let's just go into Hero. If you're in here, you can just go Emmet, wrap outwards, it'll focus the parent, keep spamming it if you want the parent further, and then you can Emmet, wrap with abbreviation to wrap it in something. So say I want a div, bam. And yeah, so we are just about done. There's probably a lot more. There is a VS Code official cheat sheet that I will link in the description, but these are the ones I use every day, and they might not seem super helpful individually, but once you get the muscle memory down, you start just flowing and going really fast, and it feels really good. There is also a whole bunch of fancy stuff you can do with Emmet, but a cheat sheet there. Go ahead. And yes, these are also very helpful. Bracket pair colorization just means, if you have a bunch of nested brackets, it will color them differently just so you can see which ones match which. And linked editing, that's just, you change one of these, you change one of them, changes the other one automatically. Saves you some time. These are also helpful. I don't really fold. I'm not a big code folder, but if you like to fold, you don't like to look at too much at the same time, then for instance, you can fold everything and it's the wrong shortcut. I need to look at my own cheat sheet, but you can unfold sections as you go. So yeah, these are the ones I use every day. I really recommend learning like all of those. They're super helpful. The guide, I said VS Code, but they also work for other code editors. For instance, I use Cursor usually. I had to remap like one of them, but the rest of them just worked out of the box, which is nice. Anyways, thanks. Good luck learning.